genre. And if you can't hack, you can't stay up with us. Turn up the stamina. Yeah. Cause we got questions for the theists. And we ain't out here trying to make y'all look stupid. We just want answers. Dig it? Welcome to the Atheist Roundtable. Yeah. Welcome to the Atheist Roundtable. Welcome to the Atheist Roundtable. Welcome to. Let's go. Yeah. Just slide up your chair, have a seat at the Atheist Roundtable. And just know we're known to take shots at the fables. I hope you're able to provide some evidence, yeah, that'll give credence to your belief in what you believe in. So let's get down to it, man. Why do you believe it? Let's go. Welcome to the Atheist Roundtable. Welcome to the Atheist Roundtable. Welcome to the Atheist Roundtable. Welcome to the Atheist Roundtable.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Atheist Roundtable. As always, I'm your host, Oz, and we have a great friend of the channel joining us tonight, Dr. Josh. How are you feeling?
Doing well, man. You guys have production just through the roof here. It's an awesome intro.
Thank you. And shout out Pasta Mike. Oh, he's already in the chat. Normalizing Atheism. Go check out Pasta's new channel. And yeah, Pasta gets a lot of love on there because when we started, I didn't know shit about production. And I've learned just about everything about production, everything from Pasta. So he deserves credit on that all day, every day. But Dr. Josh, you and I just got done trying out for the Baltimore Orioles this afternoon.
Yes. You made it. I got cut. Yeah, nothing unexpected there.
And yeah, they said, you showed up and you looked the part. You had the flat bill hat on. Dr. Josh still had the curved cap, so we can't do that anymore. But he showed up with flat cap, but you can't run anymore. So you didn't make it. You didn't make the cut. But we looked the part.
Yeah.
When we. But no, we're gonna have a fun conversation here, Dr. Josh and I, and then we have two big announcements here a little later tonight, and that I'm really excited about, and a lot of hard work and efforts been put into kind of making this thing happen, and so we'll get into that. I don't want to spoil it. So, Dr. Josh, as always, thanks for joining us tonight. Always loving having you here with TART. And the big news, I see it as big news. The big news is for you is you have another book coming out that I'm very excited about, and I've already got to kind of dive into it a little bit. But go ahead and share, title, kind of overall overview of it. The floor is yours, sir.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It's yeah, we're really excited about it. So if you haven't heard about it, when I came onto YouTube, what's it been? It's got to be 3 years now, almost ago. One of the reasons that I came on, all right, one of the purposes that I had was sort of defending not so much atheism, but atheists. And the reason that I say it like that is so often I see Christian apologists in particular that to themselves, they believe that they're doing the Lord's will. They're very well intentioned. But in reality, they're bullies. I mean, that's just the long and short of it in my book. Not all of them, obviously, but many that I have seen are intentionally or unintentionally bullying atheists. And so when I hear that sort of thing, it often coincides with a poor understanding of the scriptures. In the sense that many Christian apologists will claim things about the text, claim things about, say, like the Hebrew Bible, that just aren't accurate. They're just not true. And yet they'll say things like, "Well, the Hebrew says this, right? Or the Greek says this, or whatever." And anyway, so I just thought, or the ancient Near East, this is typical in the ancient Near East, or the Israelites were completely different than what was going on in the rest of the ancient Near East. And so I that's sort of become one of the things that I do here online. Try to anyway is I don't know, illuminate maybe some of those areas that could be shored up a little bit, and to defend atheists against this type of bullying that I see. So, to that end, I wrote this book, and the book is called "The Atheist Handbook to the Old Testament." It's the first volume of 2 thus far. Yep, there it is. Megan just made the cover art tonight. I'm super excited about it because Megan is amazing at what she does. And essentially, the book is, if you're an atheist or an agnostic, a skeptic or whatever, and you routinely have anything from light conversations with your family at Thanksgiving, around the table about things that you think are problematic about, like the Old Testament, or if they're questioning you about why you've left the faith and the Old Testament has something to do with that, all the way down to you like to go into modern day debate or come on the Atheist Roundtable and do the debates specifically with Christian apologists about these hot button issues like slavery or genocide or so what did I say? Genocide, rape, the patriarchy, any of these things. Then this book is geared, and anything in between, really. This book is geared for you to be able to pick it up and to have a very general background to the Old Testament, to understand the story itself, understand the history, the archaeology behind it, and then also to arm you, and I use that term somewhat intentionally, arm, on some of the more popular issues that get debated between atheists and Christian apologists. So this book covers 4 of the big ones that I see. Obviously, slavery is one of them. The dating of the book of Daniel, the failed prophecy against Tyre in Ezekiel 26, and then Moses didn't write the Pentateuch. Right? Those are the 4 big individual issues that I cover in this volume. And I can't remember all the ones that I do in the second volume, but like the dating of the book of the reality and the date of the book of Exodus, or the events of, the Exodus, the reality or not of the conquest, the archaeology and history behind those things. And then we talk about genocide, we talk about rape, abortion, homosexuality, a couple more that I'm blanking on at the moment. But those are sort of the specific things. Anyway, I can get into more detail than that, but that's sort of the general background to it.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you. And there was 1 or 2 when I went just through the names of the chapters. There's 1 or 2 that I was going to ask you about. But before we do, there's a great question asked here. We're going to go Shannon Q. Does the audio version come out at the same time?
So I am recording it now. I have finished the introduction and chapter 1, like editing and everything. The problem with it is that the audio, the final version, actually getting it out to whatever it is, whatever online distributor thing, I can't remember, that Megan uses. Megan is in charge of that. Megan is the brains, obviously, behind the operation. And given that she's giving her all to try to get the hardcover, version out and the Kindle version out by the time the twins arrive in late June, it will probably be recorded by that time, but I don't know that she's going to have the strength to do all the editing and such that needs to happen for the audiobook. So hopefully by the end of the year, that's my goal. But yeah, that's sorry.
So to answer the question, eventually.
Eventually, yes. Hopefully by the end of the year.
No, that's awesome. Shannon said I'm buying both anyway, but I'll listen to the audio when it comes before I
Thank you.
like to read it. Yeah, and if you guys don't buy it, shame on you. Shame on you. And if you haven't already, what you can do is go to Amazon and buy this one. Did the Old Testament endorse slavery? And if you haven't bought it and read it by now, shame on you. This is TART, and the next one will be too. This is TART required reading material.
Thank you, Oz.
Yeah, and it's a must. It's a must. Yeah, so it's the one that sticks out in there. Let me pull this back up so I don't misquote myself here. Yeah, so in here starts. It's still in chapter 1, page 37, the Exodus from Egypt. And you and I are on a phone call a week or two ago, kind of talking about the actual facts now that are coming out and the data that opposes what the Bible says and what Christians believe in that. Would you want to share a little bit of that?
Yeah. So, I mean, in the introduction, to sort of big picture that, in the introduction, I tell the story of the conversation that I hear, the interchange that I hear all the time online in debates in particular. And that is, someone will say, how can you condone what God did in Numbers 31? Right? Or how can you condone, like taking the women and children as plunder? How can you condone taking, or the virgin women, sorry. How can you condone killing everyone, men, women, children, cattle, all those things in the Amalekites in 1 Samuel 15? And the Christian apologist will ask immediately, well, do you know the context of that? Do you know the context of that story? And sometimes they do. Like sometimes atheists that I see or skeptics that I see arguing this will know like the detailed context of that. But a lot of times they don't. And they ask very rightly, well, why does that matter? why does the context of virgin women, being taken as plunder, why is the context relevant there significantly? And the Christian apologists will push back. No, well, do you know? Does that mean you don't know? I go, no, I don't know the context. And I say, well, if you don't even know the context, how could you? Why I don't even talk to you about this? And the point that I make in the story is that you don't need to know all the details of these Old Testament atrocities to be right about them, but it helps, right? So, you can say Leviticus 25, 44 to 46 is bad, right? Taking people as chattel, as slaves is bad. And you don't have to know all the context in order to make that determination. You're still right that that's bad. But it helps in these discussions. It helps in these debates. And that's why, not so much to win. That's not the point of the book. The point of the book isn't to win, because it's not giving you like debate techniques. I can't debate. I'm sure that I've lost a lot of the debates that I've been in because I'm not a debater. My goal is to just try to present, the details that I consider to be accurate in these contexts. So that being said, the first chapter is all about telling the story of the Old Testament. And so, because so often people don't know these contexts, the backgrounds of these stories. And so I want you to know. So volume 1 goes from creation, Genesis 1, down to Moses' death at the end of the book of Deuteronomy. Volume 2, the first chapter, will start with Joshua going into the land of Canaan and the conquest, and I haven't decided yet, either end with, the return of the exiles from Babylonian captivity, or it'll go down into the Maccabean period. I'm not sure. We'll see. But the point is to tell the story, right? To tell the story of the children of Israel in the Old Testament. So with that being said, the Exodus, the Exodus purports to have occurred according to the biblical timeline, however you want to take that. If you want to see the 480 years from 1 Kings 6, and the Temple of Solomon is going back to 1446, like, traditional, up until the past 40 years or so. Traditionally, that's been understood. Or, reading it as more, theological numbers, 12 generations. And so bringing that down to 300 years and bringing that down to the, late 13th century, whatever. It's supposed to have happened in the late Bronze Age, and 2.5 million people are supposed to have walked out of Egypt, and they didn't, right? They didn't. We know that historically, we know that archaeologically. But it's important to know those details, to know the archaeology, to know the history, to know what it is that what are the data points that scholars are putting together to formulate their interpretations. But it's also important to know the story itself. And so that's the purpose of that first chapter, is to give the background, to tell the narrative, to tell the story. What is it that the Bible is trying to get across?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like I told you when we were backstage, I've got through, I think, most of the second chapter, if I remember right. And I've said this before, and I'm not saying this because Dr. Josh is here and blowing smoke up his ass, but as somebody that has ADHD, and I am a slow reader, and I have to read and reread and read over and over again, I do appreciate his authorship style, because even though it is, I guess a lot of people would say some of it's complicated material when you're starting to talk about ancient text, and then how do we bring it over to where we're at now. I read it very easily, and I can't say that about a lot of books that I read that have to do with history or even biblical history. So if you're anything like me, and you are a slow reader, and even a slow learner, maybe you can read it and take tons of good things out of it, and not have to read it 40 times before you start to retain, some of that information. So I do appreciate that about your style, And Mrs. Oz said that she can tell that I've been a bad influence on you because you have a hoodie, Orioles cap, and now wear the tattoos.
I've got one. I guess I can display it quickly. I don't know. This might be the only time anybody's ever seen this online, but.
Oh, okay.
Can you read that? I don't know.
It's
a funny story. USAF.
Yeah. Yep.
There's a funny story behind it that I can tell very quickly. I was 17 when I joined the Air Force, and I'm dumb now, but I was really dumb then. And so I turned 18 in basic training, had my little birthday party. Didn't have a birthday party. So I got to Keesler Air Force Base in Mississippi. I was 18 years old, fresh out of boot camp, and they kept you on base for 2 weeks. You weren't allowed to go off base. But as soon as the 2 weeks ended, I was given freedom. I didn't have a car, didn't have any transportation. So I just went to the back gate and walked out. And I went about 500 feet, at least in my memory. That's how far it was. And came to a short little shopping strip. This is just how it goes in my memory. And there were two places. There was a porn shop and a tattoo parlor. So, being the good Christian that I was, I walked in the tattoo parlor. I'm looking around. And the guy comes out and he says, "Can I help you?" And I said, "Yeah, I want a tattoo." And he said, "Okay, which one?" And I went, "That one." And pointed at the flag, right? And he's like, "Okay, you're a moron." So he said, "Sit down." And I said, "Yeah, can you write Semper Fi underneath of it?" And he said, "Yeah, sure." So he picked out the font, and he put the little purple ink on there, and I'm looking at it. It looks good. And he gets ready to cut me. And he says, "So how long you been in the Corps?" And I said, "Oh, no, I'm in the Air Force." I've never seen someone so angry in all my life. He put he could have not slammed, I don't know, but the tattoo
The gun.
pen, whatever, the gun down, like stormed off into the back room. And he came back out a minute later and said, "I refuse to put that on you. They will kill you if they find you." I was like, "Oh, whoa, okay, all right. I don't know, write USAF on it. I don't care." So, a lot of thought, a lot of planning. This is a big dream of mine to have this tattoo on. So that was the story.
You have a fellow airman here, Mr. Bryce Aroni. What year?
Yeah, so I joined in October of 97. So that would have been 98. And later that year I was stationed at Dover Air Force Base in Delaware. And I felt like, what is it, Wayne's World?
Party time. Excellent.
And they're going, I am in Delaware. That's what it was like. I am in Delaware. So,
and Bryce says, I've been in there. I don't know if he's talking about the porn shop or the tattoo parlor or both.
Or the base.
Yeah. And he said
March 98. Okay. Another young guy like me. Young people.
All right. So the last one I do want to talk about that your previous book talked about, and it's also in the new one, and this is going to segue us into the final topic that we'll discuss before we jump into some of the exciting news here, and that is this little thing that Christians don't like to talk about much, and they like to dodge it and maneuver and manipulate, and that would be slavery in the Bible. So with your previous book and this book, and I do appreciate what you said a minute ago, that I'm not here to teach you how to debate.
Yeah. I am the wrong person for that.
and I would be too. Like, I'm not the greatest. I'm a shitty debater, I'll be honest. But I do love having conversations. But I appreciate you being honest about that. But you do give tons of ammo for those that are good, that they are equipped to, that they have the guns. They just need ammo, for to operate, so to speak. What are the maybe pick one or two of the most common arguments to support that claim in the Bible, or I'm sorry, the most common arguments that how they try to justify it, and how your previous book and this new book would equip somebody or help somebody to overcome those obstacles.
Yeah, sure. So the two biggest problems that I think atheists and skeptics face when going into these debates, outside of just knowing what passages like Exodus 21, Deuteronomy 15, and Leviticus 25 talk about, are the arguments that, one, it's not at all like antebellum slavery, right? Slavery in the South. That's the first thing that I hear in almost every debate. Well, it's not like slavery in the South, which I don't like. It's a weird way to start if you think about it. But anyway, and then the second is, well, look, it wasn't ideal, but God was just sort of working with people until you got to the New Testament. And then in the New Testament, that's when, look at the book of Philemon, look at what Paul says in Galatians 3, look at 1 Timothy 1. And then there's this, comparison drawn. It's just a very common thing. In Matthew 19, I think it is, where Jesus is, talking about divorce. The people are telling people about how Moses allowed for divorce because of the hardness of their hearts, and then sort of drawing a broad principle from that and applying it then to things like slavery. So the book on slavery, Did the Old Testament Endorse Slavery, was very much focused on giving you the ammunition. I think that's good. The ammunition to understand the broad context and then the specific aspects of slavery in the ancient Near East and in the Hebrew Bible. So lots of discussions, a whole chapter about slavery in the ancient Near East, a whole chapter that gives commentary on the three major passages of slavery in the Hebrew Bible, making those types of comparisons and contrasts and so forth. But it doesn't get into the New Testament, really. It doesn't get into slavery in the antebellum South. It's very much focused on the Hebrew Bible and the ancient Near East. Well, in the Atheist Handbook to the Old Testament, I really wanted to put a chapter in there on slavery. I know it might seem like I'm beating a dead horse, and so that people didn't just skip over that chapter or think, well, if I get that chapter, I don't need to read the other book or whatever. What I wanted to make sure was there was some overlap in them for continuity's sake, but that there was new information in the chapter so that people would feel like they're getting their money's worth when they buy the other book. So there's a whole section of the chapter on answering the claim that there's that slavery in the Hebrew Bible is not like what was obtaining in the antebellum South. That's just not true, right? There's actually quite a bit of overlap, particularly when it comes to, or specifically when it comes to the laws that were in place and the rationale behind those laws. So we go into some detail about that. And then there's a section on the New Testament and early Christianity and how slavery was thought about and talked about in the New Testament, and how the early church understood, what the biblical text said about slavery in the Old and New Testament. So it's probably the only place that we go into. I think it's the only place we go into the New Testament. But I think it's an important place to do so. So hopefully those will be really useful to answer those two main objections that I hear quite a bit.
Awesome. And like I said, that gives us a perfect tee up, perfect segue into this. So Dr. Josh, you and I talked, I was probably a month and a half ago about this idea. You kind of threw me the ball, and I tried to run with it, and I put it all over the interwebs, and Facebook, the Twitters, the TikToks, the everywhere, and thus far have got maybe half of a commitment, because it was kind of a maybe I'll do it. So I trying to be as honest as I can be and transparent. Got a maybe I'll do it, but we've not had one solid commit to it. So, Dr. Josh, you have a proposal for theists that want to discuss biblical slavery according to the Hebrew Bible. That want to discuss biblical slavery with you, but there are some caveats that give them a very direct advantage for the theist. What does that offer? What does that look like? Let them know. Let them know.
Yeah. So I definitely do. I guess there's one caveat for my end to this. I want new. It would be nice to have new people. So there are some people that I've talked to about this before in the past, and sometimes they've been good conversations, but I feel like those conversations have been had. And it would be nice to have some new perspectives, maybe from other Christian apologists, I guess. So my idea was that we do sort of a lion's den sort of thing, where three Christians or Christian apologists, whatever, would come against me. I don't know. And the reason that I think, I guess the twist that I would have is that it's all going to be cross-examination. So what I mean by that is I would be like the person on the witness stand in that sense, where, if they say, answer this question, and I start to answer it, they can, I think within reason, like go on to a new topic, or, okay, we're done talking about that. Let's talk about this other thing. But it only is going to go one way. So what I mean by that is I don't then get to turn around and go, okay, now let me ask you guys questions. It's all going to be them just coming at me, I guess. And I thought that might be interesting. I don't know that I've seen that done before. And I thought maybe that would make people feel more comfortable having a conversation about that. Maybe it wouldn't. Maybe that's boring. I don't know. Maybe they feel like it's an easy win for them. Like that's entirely possible. I mean, it's not worth their time. But I thought it would be good because it would allow people to say, hey, I have an idea about, this is my interpretive model that I have about why God, endorsed slavery in the Old Testament, or I don't think God endorsed slavery in the Old Testament. And I want to bring this up. Without really fear of not reprisal, I guess, but like having to then really firmly counter an opposing viewpoint. I don't know. Did any of that make any sense? I don't know. You can probably say it better than I did.
Come on, bro. You write books. I'm not going to say anything better than you do.
I don't know that follows, but
but if we bring it down to street level, which is what I'm used to, basically what we're talking about is one-on-one. If you want to get down and do it, get it on scripturally, like bang it out scripturally, Dr. Josh is saying 3-on-1, bring it. That's what he's saying. and you can't. It can't be a face he's already debated. So, but no. On a serious note, I think it's an awesome opportunity for those that maybe even for the theists, for the Christians, I'd even say Muslims that question that part of their text is, when I read this, like it's there, but I don't know what any of this means. And maybe it's a great opportunity for you just to come in and ask questions, and it's not necessarily a debate, but it literally is a great way for you to learn from somebody that this is his background, this was his education, and just a great way to learn. So I think it'd be a benefit to anybody on the theist side to do that. Would you agree, Dr. Josh, even from that?
Yeah, I mean, I think actually that would be the most beneficial thing that I could see would be like 3. And this is, I would hope that the people that are coming in would be honest, honest interlocutors. So looking, really to have a good conversation. It's one of the reasons this Monday coming up, Skylar and I are having a debate with Cliff and Stuart Connectley. And, I like those two. And the reason that I like them, obviously, it's not that I agree with them. But they seem like they're honest, they're nice guys, right? And they seem like they're at least the way that it comes across to me is, for the most part, they're coming at this as genuinely as they can. They're not trying to take cheap shots. It doesn't seem like they're not trying to just win. I mean, it's hard. I can't read people's minds or anything, but there are some people that you talk to that's all they're trying to do is just, get some sort of a one up. And, if that's what it ends up being, and 3 people like that just want to try to one up me, that's okay. I'll do it. If that'll get views, I'll take one for the team. But I mean, it'd be good, I think, to have people that are really interested in having good dialogue. So.
Yep. And that's going to be my next plan of attack is, the first time I went social medias, now I think I'm going to like people that have like phone numbers and email addresses for that are, I think would be, I guess, more serious, like want to come in more of an educational thing than a debate, fight type thing. It'd be more informative. I think that will be my next strategy there, as far as trying to help fill those 3 slots. But well, Dr. Josh, before we get into the fun announcements here, I want to make sure that we get to talk about where everybody can find you, that kind of thing. So obviously, for those that have been here for the whole bit here, you already know that we've talked about Dr. Josh's new book coming out, and we'll throw it up here one more time. And shout out to Dr. Josh's wife, Megan, for throwing that together tonight. She put it together tonight. But the book is on the way. Dr. Josh, do you have an ETA?
Yeah, the goal is so Megan is due to give birth to the twins like end of June, beginning of July. So the goal, I think, is hopefully June 1st. That's what I'm hoping. The plan is tomorrow for her to finish her final edits. Like I've read through it and made my edits. Now she's reading through it and making her final edits. And then she does all the maps and the illustrations and all that stuff. So she's got a couple of those to put in there, and then do some formatting stuff. But once that's done, hopefully in the next couple of weeks, what is this, April? We're going to order a preprint copy, have it mailed here, go through it. These are the things that we didn't do with the first 3 books that came out, which resulted in a lot of minor little corrections that we had to make once it was published. But get a pre-printed copy, go through it. I'll keep recording the audiobook. So hopefully by June 1st, that would be my hope, that it will be ready to, but it'll be on Amazon. My name seems to, like, if you type in Joshua Bowen, you should get my stuff. We've got 3 books out there now. So if you just type in Joshua Bowen, hopefully that'll, it'll just bring it up. But if you go to digitalhammurabi.com, she always links all the books there. And
I was I guess checking SEO value the other day, and you can either put in Joshua Bowen, or if you just put in Dr. Josh now.
Wow.
He's balling online. He's balling online because now you put in Dr. Josh and he's starting to just pop up.
That's awesome.
As you're typing those things in. So what does that mean? That means the SEO value is going up and the analytics like Dr. Josh.
Yeah, I hope, like, I sometimes I will catch some pushback from people, and I actually feel bad about it because, got to put doctor in your name. You're really feeling insecure there. And it's like, yeah, that's not really why I'm doing that. I'm trying to brand it a little bit so that thing happens. So like, like Dr. Oz or Dr. Phil, or, that's sort of, I'm hoping that it catches that, but I don't know.
Just the name Dr. Oz sounds very scary. just gonna throw that out there. Well, Dr. Josh, thank you very much. And the website is in the description, and
Thank you.
Just a minute ago put the link for the YouTube and everything in the chat. That'll go up again here in a few minutes. Thank you, Nightbot, for helping my ADHD brain, because I'd forget if it wasn't for you. But that'll go up in a minute. For everybody viewing right now, thanks for hanging out with us so far. And I've seen a bunch of familiar names and also a bunch of new names. We appreciate you guys hanging out tonight. And we do have a couple really cool announcements to make tonight. And the first thing we will start with, and I've actually I've talked to Pasta Mike and the crew, and we have a few people that are going to be introduced tonight that are now going to be new members of TART. And Dr. Josh and I have talked about this, and everything so far. It's I think this would be a really cool thing, and I'm really excited about it. And the old saying is Rome wasn't built overnight. Everything's a process, and you have to trust the process. And there's always learning curves and bumps in the road and things you have to learn from. But I know for myself and the rest of the team, I think we're built to withstand the bumps and everything. But that being said, we are going to start to do a little bit of rebranding. And when I say rebranding, there's going to be kind of a network or an umbrella. And then TART isn't going anywhere, because TART is our staple. That's our flagship, has and always will be. That's what we put our blood, sweat, and tears into, and that's always going to be the flagship. But we are introducing, beginning tonight, the Atheist Network Group, or TANG. So we have TART and we have TANG. And I know everybody knows my my love for Wu-Tang. That has nothing to do with Wu-Tang. It happened to line up that way. And there's a lot of things in the future that I see us doing with that. Some visions, some goals, that kind of thing. But I'm just going to play this video really quick because I don't want to spend a bunch of time on this right now, because I want to get to the introductions really more than anything tonight. But I want people to understand kind of the reason we're doing this and the vision behind it. So here we go. All right, so there, in a quick, 2 minutes, you get to see some of it. So like I said, I won't dive into all of it, but for the future, especially when we get past all the COVID stuff, I'm really excited to start putting a lot of those things in play and building and adding to the team because it's going to take, more than, 6, 7, or 8 people to make those kind of events happen. So are they going to happen tomorrow? No, but we're putting it out there because we want to be able to put the kind of the mission or the goals or the vision out there. That way we can start to collaborate and work together with, with other channels, with other people, and start to make those things happen as we move forward. So that said, I'm going to, before we make any announcements, bring on the TART crew. What's up? And Pasta Mike will be here. He'll be joining us here shortly. But Jeff, Nate, looking sharp tonight, gentlemen. What's going on?
I'm so glad to be here with you tonight, Oz. Thank you for having me.
Boy, the troll is in full effect. Nate, how are you tonight?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for asking. I really appreciate you asking.
And I appreciate you guys being so overly professional tonight. It just blesses my little heart. It just blesses my little heart. But we obviously behind the scenes, we've talked. Now you can loosen up and be yourselves. We've talked about TART. We've talked about the network. How do you guys feel about it? Everything we've talked about so far is, like I said, once we get out of COVID, having events, live debates, being how to even have events for people that are beginning to question or become skeptical or have went through the trauma of deconversion, deconstruction, all that. How do you guys feel about it going forward?
I'd say thanks to science and the power of vaccination, I am ready and prepared for any atheist in-person events, and I can't wait. I can't wait, Oz, for any type of conventions that we have. Be fantastic.
Is it me or does anyone else feel weird with Jeff's posture tonight? No, it's really exciting. Any chance that we could get to kind of grow community, grow some areas where people can normalize feeling the way that they feel about beliefs or religion, any of that stuff, I think it's going to be a great thing for us. So,
right, and like I said on the last part there, and well, it was on the screen. And again, shout out Pastor Mike, because normalizing atheism is his channel. But that is part of why we're doing what we want to do. And there was a question there. So, Brother John, without, like I said, spending a bunch of time talking about Tang right now, because we'll talk about that more in the future. What makes Tang different than TART? TART is the show. TART is the flagship, I guess you would say, program. You know, if this was like a TV network. So the Tang would be the, you know, the network, not the flagship program.
CBS is the network. 60 Minutes is the show.
There you go. Thank you. So we'll spend more time talking about that later. I just want to give everybody kind of an idea of what's going on, because the next part is we're getting ready to add a few awesome gentlemen to the Tang umbrella, and even I have to now retrain myself to not say TART. There, the Atheist Network Group, and again start to mobilize that and start working towards the goal of expanding it, normalizing atheism, and putting out more content. So part of that video I showed, it talked about content. We need more content put out. You know, that is driven by skepticism, secularism, atheism, that sort of thing. So without wasting any more time or any further ado, here is what I think is, for me tonight, the most exciting part of the night is we have a few people to welcome to the screen. Well, what do we have here? So I'm just gonna go through real quick and we'll introduce, and I want you guys to talk a little bit because I know we've talked in the background, but let everybody know how you're feeling, what you're excited about, what you're looking forward to, and what there he is, Wes.
Yeah.
What's going on, man? How you feeling? I'm excited. I'm super pumped to have you.
I'm very excited. I'm excited about this. The elephant in the room, yes. The other show we were on didn't work out, but my friend Nas, as well as other people that have reached out in the community, I thank you all. It was kind of hard at first, but everything's going very good. Thank you, Josh. Even my man, he reached out to me right away too, and it was appreciated. I'm very happy for this opportunity.
Thank you. And Wes, really since Wes and I met, you know, about the same time that that we started our original ventures on the YouTubes, become good friends, and spent many hours talking, whether it's business, YouTube, life, whatever. And I appreciate his friendship, and it's great to have you on board. He has tons of talent behind the scenes that a lot of people probably don't recognize, just like what I always say about Pasta. A lot of people don't realize what Pasta has brought to this channel and many other channels now at this point that he doesn't get the credit for. But next, in one of the, I remember one of the first times that Pasta Mike and I heard this person talk and present, whether it's argument or reason, we were like, holy shit. Why is this guy not more prominent? Why does this guy not have more volume in in our community? And that would be Bryce Aroni. How you feeling, man? It's great to have you on board, man. Appreciate you. Love you.
I feel super welcomed, and yeah, that was a great intro. So very, very welcoming. But no, I'm happy to be a part of this, and I of course appreciate you guys. You know, I say it all the time. If it wasn't for you and Pasta Mike kind of just setting me up and getting my name out there, I don't know that I'd be doing any of this. So yeah, I appreciate the second opportunity you guys are giving to all of us, and we're looking forward to bringing some pretty good content.
Absolutely, and we'll get into the content here in a second because I'm excited as well. And then last but definitely not least, because if there's anybody that's going to make you laugh till you piss your pants, that's going to be this man, Trent, or Skids the Clown. And if he doesn't have you laughing and pissing your pants, that means you have zero sense of humor. Again, Skids, great to have you. We've always enjoyed you. How you feeling, man?
I am feeling awesome. I've got a shirt. It's got buttons on it. I'm excited. I don't know why I'm here, but I'm just happy to be here. So thank you for including me on this. I am humbled. I am grateful. This is the opportunity of a lifetime for me.
Well, I thank you. And if having to deal with my ass is an opportunity of a lifetime, we're all in trouble. We're all in trouble. But no, Wes, Bryce, Trent, it's great to have you, and I'm looking forward to all the badassery that we're all going to do together, and all the fun we're going to have, but most importantly, the impact we're going to make in truly normalizing atheism, and continue to turn up the volume. When I say volume, not just like loudness, but the volume, the quality and the volume that we can put out, because that's what's going to help to normalize that. So thank you guys so much for being a part. And then what I'll do here is bring us back into a little bit of a shared screen here. So for everybody listening right now, Wes and Bryce and Skids have already brought 2 shows to the table. So I'm going to let them discuss that here briefly, and then we'll kind of give you a schedule breakdown of what it's going to look like. Because when we say network, that's not like a networking group. I don't want that to be mistaken. We say network like it's a network of shows or streams, along those lines. So Wes or Bryce or Skids, whoever wants to start. Well, I guess the easiest is to go in order as far as days of the week. So Bryce, you're going to be on Tuesday nights. So if you and Wes want to tell us about your show, so give us the title, kind of the premise, and then we'll keep it moving.
Yeah. So the name of the show is, excuse me. The name of the show is Director Wes Presents The Bryce is Right. And we want to make sure that we put it in that particular order because my name is in the show. I'm kind of the primary host, but none of this would happen. I don't know jack about the technical stuff. Wes is really kind of the expert at that. And Trent or Skids, I kind of call him the assistant director because he knows how to do all the stuff that Wes does, and he's also our graphic designer. So they're really the makers of the show. I'm just kind of in it, and but I like to present myself as I'm just a guy who has thoughts and opinions and likes to talk about stuff, and so our shows, it's going to be a little bit broader in terms of topics. We're going to touch on philosophy and politics, obviously religion, maybe a little history, current events, science, but all from a secular perspective and, under that goal of promoting secular humanism and positive atheism. And so, the name of the show is The Bryce is Right. I'm not always right. I'm just right most of the time. So that may or may not be proven true. That may be proven false, but I'm open to that. I'm an open-minded person. And, I like people that are going to challenge any presuppositions that I have. And so it's kind of a play on words. If and when I'm right, I'm sure that'll be demonstrated in the arguments. And when I'm proven wrong, I'll eat my words. So
Yeah, and for all the theists, if you can prove them wrong, you can just turn them in, take them from Bryce and turn them into Bryce-a-roni. Crickets.
Yeah.
So, Wes, what's your? Because you're going to be helping put that show together. As far as thumbnails and graphics and all that. What's your thoughts on The Bryce is Right?
I'm excited for both these shows. I really am. I can't speak enough for Trent as well. He's been doing most of the work lately on several projects. So I love working with these guys.
Yeah, you guys are. You guys make a great trio, I guess is what they'd say. So far, everything I've seen you guys working together, so that's awesome, and I can't wait to see how that combines with with what we've been doing so far. So then on Thursday nights, we have the guy that I already told you will make you piss your pants laughing, and he has a show, and I don't want to steal the thunder. So Skids, please tell us the name of your show and what you're going to be focusing on, because I think this is another one that could be a home run hitter.
Thank you. So unlike Bryce's show, I'm going for the slightly lower brow type of entertainment. The show is called Faith Not Included. And what we are doing is putting together a show that is, I won't quite say debunking, but we're certainly debunking certain things. So we're going to tackle topics like religion, conspiracy theories, politics, all kinds of stuff. Whatever's kind of the big subject in the news, or classic Bible stories, or all this stuff, and just kind of point out how full of crap it is. Kind of think Ancient Aliens, but without all the bullshit. That's us. So again, I definitely want to point out that this was something that Wes and I discussed months ago, just in chats. It was something we always wanted to do, and we now have the opportunity to put this together in a format that we hope is not only educational, but actually just entertaining and funny.
Yes, which is another layer of normalizing atheism, is that we can present content that has a layer of atheism, but we can still have fun, be funny, and not be all about argumentation, evidence,
Exactly.
all that, and just show that we do have a human element, that we still like to smile and have fun, everybody. So Wes, one last time there on the show with you and Skids again, but behind the scenes, you're helping with that. What are your thoughts on that show?
I'm just excited all the way around. This is going to be fun. This is going to be comedy a bit and addressing some good points on conspiracy, things like pseudoscience, things like that, I think. And which I love talking about too. It's fun and interesting both, and sometimes educational. So I'm looking forward to this.
Only sometimes, not a lot.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
And everybody, let Wes know how sexy he looks in that dress shirt.
Oh, absolutely.
It brings out the blue in my eyes, I'm told.
Ooh.
And I have to say that before I tuned in, I was a little intimidated by Dr. Josh. I've had a conversation with him before, but this guy's a doctor, and you gotta recognize your place when you're talking to a doctor. But then I found out he was a fellow airman, and around the same time I was, and so my perspective has changed a little. Now I can look at him as the dipshit down the street at Kiesler next to the porn.
That's right. The mad dog. Yeah.
And I know exactly where that porn shop is because well, I'll stop there. But, yeah.
Because you had it shut down when you were
I've
there.
never been in there. I've never been in there.
Never seen it.
That's not. We have it in the chat, Bryce. We have it in the chat. You definitely.
Oh crap! I didn't get that, didn't I? Yeah.
Yeah. See what happened was.
Yeah.
What happened was. But Dr. Josh, so you and I have spoke again just phone calls and text, whatever. We've discussed this, and now it's kind of coming to fruition. And I love that you're here tonight because you've been a huge supporter of the Atheist Roundtable, and we appreciate that. And you've become a great friend of our channel. When you're saying this as a friend of the channel, how do you feel? Is this excitement? Is this you guys are crazy? What,
Yeah, well, I mean, I think the first thing that I think is that you guys are all probably a bunch of perverts. Okay, yeah, well, at a 15-foot penis. So, yeah, so. No, I really do. I really do enjoy being here, and I know that I can't. I can't regularly contribute on a schedule, I suppose, to the channel, just given what's on my plate. But I don't know that that's really my role here online, or with Tang or Tart. I feel like more. I got an email yesterday if I could do put together like a little 30-second clip on the dating of the Book of Daniel. Just what is it that scholars think about that? And so I threw something together and sent it off to a friend of mine, and that'll show up in a video somewhere. And I kind of feel like that's a good place for me. Kind of in the background, somebody says, hey, is this this Christian apologist has made this comment. Is that really true? And can you give me a citation or two to support that? And, usually those questions aren't so time consuming that, I can't just go pull a book off my shelf and, snap a picture of it, and say, here, this is consensus. This is consensus view on this. And here's some, good evidence for it. And I like that I can do that. I like that I can kind of be that support, that backup for people. So I want to make that known, if there's probably going to shoot myself for saying this publicly, but I mean, Megan will shoot me, but, if there are things, that people either on the show or, watching, having debates or discussions or whatever, the Christian apologist, and that something continues to come up that they just don't have a good answer for, shoot me an email. I can't always respond to everything, unfortunately, but if I can, and it's something pretty simple and straightforward that I can just give a line or two response to, then I'm happy to do that. So anyway,
awesome. No, and Dr. Josh does I'll send him dates like, hey, anytime you have available, and he's always like, I can do this and this, so he does. If he's available and it makes sense with his schedule, his family schedule, he does do that. And Dr. Josh, because we have had conversations about, what does it look like to normalize atheism? And I apologize. I was not very clear with how I asked that question. My original question, when we look at normalizing atheism and trying to put out quality and quantity, and trying to, I guess, link arms and put things together to make a bigger movement out of it, if that's what we want to call it. I hate the word movement, but it seems to be what it is. When you see this, and based on what you and I have talked about behind the scenes, is this something that you see as a plus? Because I've heard a couple people, and I won't name names, I've heard a couple people say that no, but do you see this as something like this as a plus, where you're trying to build the quality and the quantity? Do you see it as a plus?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, unless you're a Christian apologist, or someone, a theist that's trying to put down normalization of atheism, I'd say it's I don't know how you wouldn't see it as a plus. I think it was the nicest way I think anybody's ever said you didn't answer my question. So I apologize for that, Oz. I think that the more voices that you can bring together and do so in honestly, it's such a professional way. I mean, I know we kind of joked about that a little bit earlier, but I mean, it really is. You guys definitely put the time in to presenting this well. And I think the more people that stand behind it in a coordinated effort is, well, it's priceless. And, just like, something as small as having in a popular show, a member of the LGBTQ community being one of the main characters. The more that happens, the more that you see people that are minorities in the culture being brought in and normalized. I think that just makes us that much richer. And so, yeah, I mean, I think it's incredibly important to have this sort of thing be networked and systematically put forward in a way that is entertaining, but as you say, greater volume. But the quality of that volume is, because you do see that, right? I see that a lot. A lot of people. I did it in the beginning, with Digital Hammurabi, putting out lots of quantity, and it just wasn't very high quality. And so I think you guys are doing a fantastic job at it. I'm excited.
No, thank you. And I do want to make sure that everybody knows that the OG Pasta Mike is with us.
Hey, what's up?
I need to hear him.
Hey, what's going on? 1, 2, check. Mike.
We
Mike,
can hear you.
Hey, check. Hey, Dr. Josh, are you interested in debating some Muslims?
About what?
About how quick you can convert.
Oh, no. No, I'm not. But I appreciate you asking. Thank you.
No, okay. Well, that's not your book of study, is it?
It's not.
No. But hey, I was thinking to myself, man. We were checking out Bryce about a year ago. Ironically chatting with, I think it was, I forget his name. I think he's might be from the UK. He was chatting with a Muslim. He came on to the EA show, and that's where I noticed Bryce so strategically going through the Socratic method with this guy. Excellent questions. And I said to Oz, I was like, do you know that guy from that show? He's like, I know Wes. And I said, that guy needs to be on that show like on a regular basis for real. He's so good at asking questions. And the rest is history. Now you're on our show. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I was trying to recall what conversation that might have been or who the Muslim was. But regardless, yeah, no, I definitely appreciate that. I guess I wasn't really used to, or I wasn't really expecting any sort of criticism on my performance when I first started doing that. I was just asking questions as they came to me, just based on the argumentation I was getting. And I don't know, I guess that the way that I do it seems to kind of rub people the right way, or there's a certain clarity there. I don't know that I'm presenting anything new, but maybe it's just the way that I'm doing it that seems unique to people. But whatever it is, it seems to be working. And so, but that none of that was planned intentionally by me or rehearsed or anything. Sometimes I'm genuinely slow to understand, and I like to ask the most specific questions possible, and then give my most specific objection to the answer at the time, rather than going off on tangents and beating around the bush. So I don't know. Maybe that's what people are saying. But
I'll see if I can find that video. It's a fantastic conversation. And I think that guy was like, I'm going to come back and I might not get Bryce, but I'm going to convert one of these guys. But it was a great conversation. It really was.
Yeah. And what's funny about that? I'm still friends. I have Muslims that I wouldn't say friends with, but acquaintances with still from back in the day. So it may be one of them. And we have friendly philosophical discussions and debates where we go back and forth often. So I wouldn't be surprised if it was one of them. But I think that they've kind of given up on the idea of converting me because
Sure.
just the the methods of conversion are fairly specific, fairly standard, from person to person. It tends to be the same thing over and over again. And I think I familiarized myself enough with it to know all of the holes that I would try to attack, as soon as they did that. And I think that they probably have realized that about me by now. And so I noticed they don't even really spend a lot of time trying to convert me so much, but we can still have friendly, pleasant conversations. And I tend to be able to find common ground even with people of theistic backgrounds that I don't necessarily agree with. With one thing that Christians and atheists may have in common is that they disagree with Islam. And one thing that Muslims and atheists have in common is that they disagree with Christianity. So at the very least, we have common ground there. We can talk about how the Bible doesn't make any sense,
It's the common ground thing. And I remember the conversation I had with Oz. I was watching that stream and I called him and I said, there's a guy right now. His name's Bryce. He's on the EA show. I said, it's only fair that you contact those guys. I didn't really know Justin or Wes very well. And, he's on their show. He seems like he's loyal to that channel. But secretly, I was like, I would love for you to be on TART, but I didn't want to be a jerk. And it's funny how it all works out.
Yeah.
And before we just unleash and start having some fun here, I do what the viewers are here that have been hanging out with us all night. I do want to put the schedule up because we do have a schedule now. We do have a schedule. So your weekly schedule Monday night, and it's no longer 10. That'll be 9 p.m. Just so that's updated on the website. But Monday 9 p.m. Eastern time, the TART Live call-in show. Tuesday night, The Bryce is Right at 9, and then Wednesday at 10 until Steve gets his going. That'll be a different time, but right now Wednesday 10 p.m. Eastern time, Lady Late with Nady Nate, which has had his first 3-time premiere on this last Wednesday because of YouTube. And then Thursday night,
it was definitely YouTube's fault. Definitely.
Oh, it definitely was. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Thursday night, 9 p.m., Faith Not Included, which will be another pre-recorded. And then Friday and Saturday will either be TART Live shows or UDC, which is our debate nights. And then Sunday is the Atheist Troll Live call-in show at 9 p.m. So that'll be the schedule. We'll get that posted up on the social medias and the website and all that. But I wanted to make sure that we put that out there, that if you want to screenshot it or whatever real quick, that way you have it, and it's at your fingertips.
Hey, I tuned into the Atheist Troll call-in show on Sunday. It seemed like you got the title wrong. It was the Oz goes off on tangents while Jeff's trying to do his show, call-in show. I think Jeff needs to get a device that can take calls, I think, for his show. What do you think, Jeff? And you're muted, by the way.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that would be fantastic.
Yeah. So
I'm sorry, I've been drinking.
Oh, well, you look dapper, my friend.
Yeah, Oz and I had a pregame.
Both of you, and I like Oz is back to his game shirts.
His aunt Kathy got him that shirt.
Yeah, she was on the show the other day. She was at his house. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, that's where he got the shirt from.
Yeah,
she had an old couch laying around. And she just turned it into a shirt.
Oh, okay. So I see where he's going on. I was trying to say that's a pretty pimp shirt you got there. It's pretty pimp.
I was thinking though, Bryce, I've been working on this for a while and I've not been able to get the right people. What I want to do, and maybe with your plethora of people we need to get a Muslim Christian debate going on at some point. Well, where we have someone that is a very good Islamic debater debate a very good Christian debater about which religion is correct, so that we can just sit back and watch and get some really good arguments for why we wouldn't convert to either religion.
I can certainly think of, there are a few people in the back of my head that come to mind that would be willing to have a debate. There's some question as to whether or not they would be willing to have the debate for that purpose, for us, especially with the the Christian, I'm thinking, but yeah, that's certainly, that would be entertaining. There's no doubt about that. I would be all for that. So yeah, hook up with me after the show, and maybe we can run through some ideas. Whether or not they will come to fruition, I can make no promises about that.
We got a crack squad of savvy, motivated personnel ready to get this debate going. And if anything can make it happen, it's you.
You know, it's funny because I can think of Christians who are good debaters and Muslims who are good debaters, but I'm not sure that they would be good debaters who would want to do that. And I can think of poor debaters of each of those demographics who would love to do it.
Yeah,
so,
I found people that it's actually harder to find a Islamic debater because they will not say something negative about another religion because they, have this respect other religions thing so ingrained into them, even though they're really what they really mean is Abrahamic religions. But so it's difficult for me to find someone on that side of the camp. I have found Christians that are good debaters that would go and do that. But yeah, it's hard to find somebody that will play that side.
Speaking of the master debater himself, Otangelo is in the.
That's okay. He can be the Christian debater.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's coming on to debate here in a couple of days, right?
24th.
Who's his opponent?
You.
Don Fullman.
It's going to be on. If it's me, sorry, Otangelo, bro. You better come equipped. I know my verses.
And Jeff, I just noticed one of the comments here. Clyde made an interesting point as far as the Muslim. He wouldn't necessarily have to be attacking the Christians' beliefs, because I agree with you. I think Muslims are generally not inclined to do that, but there are specific doctrines, whether they be biblical doctrines or different areas of disagreement. Yeah, you can tell that guy was an airman.
Well, they'll attack the resurrection all day. They'll attack the Trinity.
The Trinity,
idea. But it's interesting how critical they'll be. Like, that doesn't make any sense. How could there be a Trinity? Now, let me get back to where the ants talk in my book. It's like, what happened here? Your level of skepticism went like this, which is interesting. But it's just
hold on, guys. Hold on. Just got Pasta just told me here. Kent Hovind just got a hold of the number to call in, and he wanted to tell Jeff that he's dumb, and if he does not believe in young Earth creationism, that he should just get off YouTube.
I told you that in your ear. Fuck you, Austin.
So is that my cue?
Josh is like a Kent Hovind jukebox that everybody.
Yeah, I remember watching a particular debate where someone who will go nameless, I suppose. That's not my wife. Okay, I'm here to help. But he was arguing for Bigfoot. So somebody that believes in Bigfoot, of course, it's a faith position, and I don't think he should be calling anyone. Of course, Muslims are fake. I mean, we know that much because they don't understand about Jesus in the Bible. But yeah. I think Jeff is the pod calling the kettle black. Okay, well, yeah, I'm here to help. 15-foot whale penis. Okay, you're a pervert.
Hey, Harry Carey. Is Harry Carey in the building? I think Harry Carey's here.
Oh man,
is he? Is he here?
Well, I guess not. No one else does the impression, so I guess he's not.
Oh, okay.
Pasta.
Well, why the hell would you want to talk to him?
Pasta does a really good Oprah Winfrey impression.
Yeah.
Could you get that for me?
Oprah Winfield?
Yeah, it's a physical impression though. So yeah, I gotta get. Let me go turn my camera on and oil up. So is this a children's show? Because I can get into some Oprah Winfrey impressions.
There's so many levels to what you just said. There's a lot to unpack there.
Hey, Jeff, reach into your seat. Anyway.
Let's see. Nothing under my seat.
Hey, anyway, I was taking shots earlier. Every time Oz said normalizing atheism, and I got pretty wasted. How many
me too.
people subscribed to normalizing atheism? By the way, anybody subscribed to my channel? Who did?
And I
Like,
definitely
like just
You have a
now,
channel?
or
You have a channel?
I do have a channel.
Yeah.
It's called Normalizing Atheism.
What's that channel name?
It's called Normalizing Atheism. Oz has been dropping kind of subliminal hits.
Yeah, I
all
think
the way
this is
through.
the
No.
first I've heard
For
of
the,
it.
for the record, hold on, whoa. For the record, they've not been subliminal hits. Them shit's been in the chat all night long.
Oz
Oh,
has
and look,
Normalizing
it just popped up
Atheism
again.
correct.
Popped up again. It just popped up again. Nothing subliminal.
Boom. Here we go. I probably got 1,000. I'm probably monetized now. I'm probably monetized by the end of the stream.
I am a loyal subscriber
I appreciate that, Bryce.
as of 34 seconds ago. Very loyal.
It's going to tell me it's going to be like Bryce. Oh, normalizing whale penis. I debated that name for a moment. I was like, yeah, that's a decent name. I know if I had a channel with Skids, if Skidsy and I had a channel, it would be normalizing whale penis.
Yes, I'm all down for that. You know, I've
Yeah.
already got the URL registered. We're just waiting for you to give me the go ahead.
This is
Is that an-
this would be our intro right here.
Hey, welcome to the Normalizing Whale Penis podcast with Skids the Clown. Ooh, get off.
Yeah, something like that. We a great show.
I agree.
Yeah.
Is that something that Hovind actually said, or is that just you kind of,
No, it was in his debate with Godless Engineer. One of them brought up, how did it go? I don't remember exactly how it went, but somebody, I think he said that the whale has a 10-foot or a 15-foot whale penis. and then John said, wait, you cut out. I didn't hear you. And he said, you heard me. Yeah, you pervert.
That was classic.
Yeah, it was priceless.
Hey, I think Mrs. Oz is trying to hint at something here.
Yeah.
What does she know? What does she know, Oz?
do we want to know?
Oz, what's she trying to say, bro? which one are you, Raphael or Donatello?
I didn't know my wife was into bestiality.
Like a little turtle shell.
Turtle.
ooh,
Turtle.
ooh.
Oh, so Titan Uranus says his experience with whale penises were 18 feet.
Oh my God.
Well, the sea is salty, folks. That's just we can all agree to disagree.
I don't know where you go after whale penis, to be honest.
I'm at a loss at the moment.
That's a tough act to follow.
I'm trying to make a semen joke, but I can't think of one.
Oh, but dun.
Yeah, that failed.
Well, if we had any former Navy people in here, that would be easy, but we're all freaking Air Force, so
Yeah.
we ruined
Rasta,
it.
is that your cue?
Yeah, I was in the Navy, you son of a bitch.
Oh, there you go. There's your semen joke.
Yeah, god damn it.
Did you hear that boxing
God
voice?
damn it.
You son of a bitch. He was angry when he said that.
God damn it. Hey, look, I was a fantastic sailor. You watch your mouths. I was very
What did you do?
I was the sassiest guy on the sea. I was I was extremely sassy. I sassed and I frassed. No, I was an undesignated airman for a year, so I kind of just played the field for a little bit, and then I struck for a airframer's position. So I was an AM, so I was kind of like working with the MH-53, the big old helo in Norfolk, Virginia. Not far from the Maryland area there by Mr. Hovid, and then I was like, I like the office jobs, so I ended up being a yeoman.
Cool. What about you, Josh?
Well, let me start over. I was a Navy SEAL.
That sounds much better.
Yeah,
Start with that next
Killed a
time.
bunch of folks. Killed everybody. I killed Bin Laden actually.
Twice.
Sorry, Justin. Apologize in advance.
Twice.
All right. So before we start to wrap this up, my my beautiful, loving wife just put on here that her preferred coworker showed me video of turtle penis today. I love them.
The coworkers, right?
Hopefully the coworkers.
Working hard.
Working hard for the money. No, but before we do start to wrap it up, because I did give a few people the commitment that we'd stay an hour and a half. So I want to do that because I do want to make a statement here before we go. But everybody here now has channels. Like everybody here has channels. It's not just one thing. So I'm going to start and say it because I don't know if Pasta even got to hear me say this earlier, but somebody complimented the production, was Dr. Josh, but Dr. Josh complimented the production value and everything, how the show's improved, and even the bullshit that I put together that I think looks good. All credit goes to Pasta because I didn't know shit before I met Pasta about production or putting graphics together or anything like that. So
Anything in general.
first and foremost,
I'm talking about a walk, folks.
the person that gets to chill and talk about their channel is the OG of the Atheist Roundtable, and that's Pasta Mike. Please, my brother, tell everybody about normalizing atheism.
No, man, I love you, dude, and you're doing what you're doing. I think we talked about the Atheist Network about a year ago, and we talked about TART. Now you own the Tang thing. I didn't come up with that. Atheist Network. You and I talked about that about a year ago, and the fact that you've brought it to light and done all that, and the hip hop intros have nothing to do with me. That's all you. You do all that, dude. You keep putting all that stuff out, man. You're a beast of your own, man. You don't have to pass the buck over to someone else. You own that shit, and you deserve the credit. So keep doing what you're doing, Oz.
Okay, thank you. And I wouldn't have learned had I not met you. But what about your channel, though?
I did teach you how to do the left-hand backhand reverse stroke jack off, though. That I did teach you.
He learned that in the Navy.
I did. That is what I taught him. No, but I'd love people to subscribe to Normalizing Atheism. My channel is going to be involved with light discussions where I kind of meet with people in the real life. I don't care about masks. I open mouth kiss people when I meet them, and I sit with them and eat pizza somewhere, and I'll film you, and we'll chat, and we'll talk about your beliefs, and check my channel out. Just go look at it. Normalizing Atheism.
Yes.
I'm bug chasing, folks. I'm bug chasing. If you've got something, I'm looking for it. Okay.
He said, "I'll open mouth kiss them." So Sunday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern time, we have the Atheist Troll Live call-in show. Jeff, is there anything that they need to know before they call you and talk to you?
No, absolutely not. I don't care what they know or don't know when they call in. Just, if you're in, honestly, look, I'm a professional troll. This isn't like a Tuesday in the park. I know what I'm doing. So if you're going to call the show to troll, do a good job. Make it worthwhile, because I can spot it in a second. So do a better job. That's all I can say. But we are going to be talking about some different, I want to bring some experts onto the show, and then we're going to beat the shit out of terrible arguments that I find on TikTok. And so that means bringing on maybe a geologist to talk about how we date stuff, why we know that the arc in Turkey is complete and utter bullshit, how different sediment layers work, maybe bring on a evolutionary biologist to talk about evolution, and to talk about what a scientific theory is. So, basic concepts that they're hurtful. They just, every time I see some of these things on TikTok or Instagram or wherever, it hurts. It hurts. It hurts that people believe that there's an ark in Turkey that's a rock structure that only one person ever claimed was an ark, or the chariot wheels thing that's completely from a satire website. Like, these terrible arguments won't die. Somebody said, "Oh yeah, this guy died and came back to life 3 days later." Terrible arguments. They've been around for so long. It's time to destroy them. Sunday night, 9 p.m.
Cool. So 30 minutes later, Wes, is there anything that you
You see the jacket? You see the shirt?
It's vintage. That's vintage jacket. Polyester blend. Come on, guys.
So
I'll let them plug it. I'll let Trent and Bryce plug theirs.
okay, so we'll save you. So we'll go to the bottom row here. Bryce Aroni, how you feeling, man? I'm excited to have you guys on board. Any closing statements from you, man?
Yeah. Hopefully, I don't steal Trent's thunder. I'm sure he may have his own thing to talk about. But we've been working together a lot, Wes as well, and we do have a joint venture going on with a couple of other members called the Promethean Secular Frontier, and I just posted a link to that in the comments. Should show up in a second, but yeah, basically this is our YouTube channel. It's not mine, but it's a joint venture, and similar to what Tang is about. It's kind of an umbrella network with numerous shows on it dedicated to different themes. I am going to have another show on there called Secular Soapbox, where I get to stand on a hypothetical soapbox and spout, my beliefs and bring out my frustrations about some of these arguments, similar to what Jeff was just talking about. But I'll have a co-host to go back and forth with, and we may agree about some things and we may not, but that's going to be fun. And then there's a couple of other shows that we can expect on there as well. Promethean Secular Frontier, named after the god Prometheus, who brought fire to mankind and was punished for it. So a little bit of irony in there, maybe.
Supposedly,
yeah.
Just like all the other ones. And Skids, great to have you on board, and I'm looking forward to making or you make everybody laugh to the point that they piss their pants, and Nate has to run away to the bathroom because he can't wait. So, how you feeling, man? What are you looking forward to? What's your closing statement?
Skids, I feel like he's setting the bar really high for you there. Like, he's like,
Yeah. So here's the thing, when you brought Bryce on board, you got the intelligent, well-spoken, handsome person to join the channel, and
Sure.
then there's me. I'm the opposite end of the spectrum. I think there's a little balance going on here. I don't know, if we had to go polar opposites, but but for Bryce, yes, consider my thunder well stolen. I don't have anything to talk about now because you talked all the good stuff about the Promethean movement. But Bryce's show, Secular Soapbox, definitely check it out on the Promethean. My show is The Crucible, and my co-host is the Borg Skeptic. Hopefully everybody has heard of
the Borg.
Skeptic.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Shout out to Borg. If you have not heard of the Borg Skeptic, absolutely check out her show. It's amazing. And I want to thank her specifically for giving me a chance to kind of get started with that. Other than that, I am looking forward to dragging this channel down with my dumb humor. I again.
So he just got fired.
Whoa.
That was quick.
That's all it took.
No, Skids, I love your sense of humor. Pasta said that after our initial interview with you. He was like, I like that guy.
Yeah, you're another one I wanted to steal. I wanted to steal folks from the Apathetic Atheist show for a long time, but it's like, where's the line? You can't. So
yeah.
And I want to say a quick little thing.
Thinks Islam is true, and then you're like, okay.
As a former guy over there, I want to say just a quick little thing. I am still subscribed to the EA show. It is different now, and it's gone off on a different direction. But Justin, or Khalil Allah, is still a friend of mine. He has different views now, but I respect his views. I think that people should continue to give him a chance, and not necessarily write him off. He's been getting some hate unjustly, I think, from some in the atheist community, and we want to try to reverse that. And I'm an empathetic atheist still. I'm still promoting positive atheism. I don't condone harassment or death threats or any of this other stuff because somebody changed their beliefs. It's kind of ridiculous, and that really needs to stop. And so I won't contribute to that, but I will support someone who has different beliefs than me.
I know, and there's enough death threats in the Quran anyway. So, but when it comes to Justin personally, Justin is a great guy. There's nothing should be negative thrown at him, but beliefs should be questioned, and why he changed his belief should be questioned. There's nothing wrong with that, and I'm still subscribed to his channel too. It's fun entertainment.
Yeah, I suspect he'll talk about that at some point. I don't think that he was ready for that right away, and that might have caused a lot of confusion and maybe triggered some of the backlash, and that may have been a tactical error on his part, but I suspect that's something he'll correct in the future. So I'm mostly watching to see, because I'm curious myself. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't.
Yep. Well, and we're actually, as a channel, we're getting ready to address that. But before we do, Nate, real quick, you had your triple premiere on Wednesday, and I've personally received a lot of good feedback from the community. But if you could quickly just share with everybody what you have going on Wednesday nights.
So you got good feedback about how we set it up with the two that didn't work, and then the third one that did work. Is that where you got the good feedback?
Look, we know it was YouTube's problem, not yours.
Just your show.
Couldn't handle it.
Oh, okay.
It was too much.
Yeah, it was just too much goodness. Yeah.
All right. So what's the premise on your show?
Up Late with Nate. It's essentially like a late night show you would see on television, but it's got some different twists to it. And it is a show where you're asked to roast the host and put those in the comments, and may or may not be top roast comment of the previous week. So check it out on Wednesday, 10 p.m. Hopefully this time it will be 10 p.m. and maybe 10:30, maybe 11, according to YouTube. But yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah, we schedule it for 10, but if YouTube acts up like it did last time, it'll be 11. And then Dr. Josh, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight, and thank you for joining me in the Baltimore Orioles tryout this afternoon before we went live. And for those that just jumped on, Dr. Josh does have a book coming out, and what would you say, late June, Dr. Josh? Is that right?
Hopefully early, but yeah, expect late, so you're not disappointed.
We're gonna
It's
hold
all
it to it.
contingent upon the twins inside of Megan. So, yeah, hopefully it'll be June 1st.
Yep.
He said
And,
June.
the website is in the description, and then literally right now, I've put in there several times, but now in the chat, you can find their YouTube and everything, and then go and subscribe and make sure you're following them there. So Dr. Josh, again, thank you for hanging out with us tonight. And I've got to view a little bit of the book, and I'm already excited. I can't wait to have some time to sit down and really go through it and dissect it. But
Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate it. Before we do go tonight, I think most of our subscribers and followers, they understand that Wes and Bryce and Trent were part of the EA show, the Empathetic Atheist show. I know they're reworking that name. They're keeping the EA, but it's not going to be obviously the Empathetic Atheist anymore. They're reworking that, but formerly a part of that, and now becoming a part of the Atheist Network group. And I just want to make one statement one time and then be done with it until Justin comes on the show, because he's already agreed to talk to us after Ramadan is over. So I want to make one statement one time until he comes back on. For myself and for the Atheist Roundtable and now the Atheist Network group, we love Justin. And Justin, as a human and as our friend, that is just not going to change. We still care about you. I don't agree with the belief. I'm not. I don't even agree with the reasoning that I've heard so far. But that's irrelevant when it comes to humanity. So, as my friend and as a human, I want you to know, and I want you to know, as far as a channel, we will not be a part of the other groups that have attacked and tried to demean and humiliate and do those things. That's not who I am. That's not who we are as a group. And just know that we still got your back as far as a friend. And we're going to be there. And if you need us, you need to talk, you need something from us, just hit us up. You know how to get a hold of us. And we love you, brother. We love you and your family. And for everybody that's watched tonight, we appreciate it. Peace out.
Yeah, this is what we're doing on the YouTubes. Turn on the camera. And if you can't hack it, can't stay up with us, turn up the stamina. Yeah, cause we got questions for the theists. And we ain't out here trying to make y'all look stupid. We just want answers. Dig it? Welcome to the Atheist Roundtable. Yeah. Welcome to the Atheist Roundtable. Welcome to the Atheist Roundtable. Welcome to. Let's go. Yeah. Just slide up your chair, have a seat at the Atheist Roundtable. And just know we're known to take shots at the fables. I hope you're able to provide some evidence. Yeah. That'll give credence to your belief in what you believe in. So let's get down to it, man. Why do you believe it? Let's go. Welcome to the Atheist Roundtable. Welcome to the Atheist Roundtable. Welcome to the Atheist Roundtable. Welcome to the Atheist Roundtable.